Doing awesome. Can you guys hear me okay?
I could hear you. I
Let's
don't know
see
if they
if we
have
can
a.
get, let me turn on my camera here. How's that? You can
Yep,
see me okay? You can hear me okay?
I can see and hear you.
Oh, that's good and bad, right? Um, let's see. Let me just pull up some stuff here. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm ready. Let's just go ahead and give a couple more minutes for people to kick off. I don't want to answer any questions until everybody's on. I know we've got members of the community in I think 42 different countries, and so hopefully this is being recorded so that those who are fast asleep right now be able to um, get some of these get this video stream so we can if in case they submitted questions they can get some answers to those questions. So I appreciate all of you guys being on. One of the commitments that I'm trying to make is to be a little bit more involved in updates and making sure that everybody knows what we're up to. Sometimes we get in this mode where we're just heads down, just working, and we forget to give people updates. And we assume, all right, they're running their nodes, they're earning their tokens, things are great, but we have to do. And our social media is good. I mean, I think between everybody we are at least trying to get something posts or some sort of update out there on a pretty regular basis, almost daily between all the socials. But it's we're in some really weird times right now, right? I mean, with so much going on. I mean, now the politics has entered into it, and you've got a couple, two of the top three candidates out there are crypto friendly. You guys heard whether your politics, whether you're right, left, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter right now, and all that matters is um, what's the state of the crypto world right now. And it's interesting. You guys probably saw over the weekend Donald Trump was in I think Nashville at a big crypto conference, and he said as soon as I come into office, I'm going to fire Gary Gensler, and the crowd erupted, and everybody was pretty excited about all that. For good reasons, right? So the a lot of the SEC stuff is pretty hairy right now. There's a lot of companies out there where they feel like some sort of indictment or something from the SEC is a badge of honor because you're actually out there producing and doing things. And so it's been rough, and it's kind of a scary place to be in the crypto world right now, just because sometimes the SEC, for those of you in the United States, you're familiar with the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission. Obviously, sometimes they regulate by litigating, and it just obviously we have compliance teams and lawyers, and everybody believes they're doing everything correctly, and we're trying to, and to a lot of the questions that sometimes you guys have of, hey, what's going on, and when are you going to make this token, da 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 da. We try to do our best to be responsible for building products that go onto the blockchain that you guys run. And so a lot of times the communications between us as a company and the community that runs the blockchain are, hey, what are you guys going to do XYZ? When the reality is, a lot of those efforts they have to be community driven. A lot of the things that you guys, and I'm also a community member as well. I own nodes and tokens, and so a lot of the things that you guys want to happen, I want to happen too. But we always start these conversations off trying to be very clear between what does Element United, the company, do versus what are the responsibilities of the community. And sometimes we have to just make it very clear that while, of course, we would love to see that token go up, we don't make any claims, we don't make any promises. We just do the best we can do, and we always start with let's solve some problems, right? Let's figure out a way to use blockchain technology to solve problems, and then we hope everything else takes care of itself. But a lot of times that vague, I hope everything else takes care of itself. There are specific steps that need to be done for a token to have value. We just try to make it clear that a lot of those steps are community driven. You've got the DGF, we've got all of you members of the community that can do certain things to help that. And the reason why we're so clear on that is because there are certain rules in this weird, what's compliant, what's not compliant, what does the SEC consider, a security. There are some things that we can go off of, and one of them is the Howey test. And the Howey test is what determines if something is a security. And your expectations that you're going to make money off of my efforts is one of those things. And so we built this thing from the ground with that in mind. There are certain things that we do as a company, and there are certain things that you do as a community to make and the things that you do as a community are what are token related. So if we need the token to go up, we meaning the community, those are things that should be driven by the community. So having said that, that's kind of my disclaimer that I always start all of our conversations off with. And hopefully I've been very consistent with that. If you go back the last 2 or 3 years, I don't think there's anything with me ever on camera or in a meeting, because I always just assume that anything I say is being filmed and recorded. And so I just try to be honest and upfront with the truth. And that's kept us, in a great standing. And so things are about to get very interesting with the election, with Donald Trump saying what he's saying, and with the cycle of the Bitcoin halvings. As you guys know, the last 4 Bitcoin halvings have all followed a very similar pattern. And that pattern kind of starts with, a little bump and then a big dip. And then over the next, 12 to 24 months, it starts to go up. And that's where we're at. We're kind of in that little dip area right now, to where the markets should, if we're just looking at historical data, and again, no promises, but the markets should continue to go up. And so that's kind of the wave that we're hoping to follow as we make announcements. And there's been a lot of stuff happening, and people get a little bit frustrated with, hey, how come you guys aren't announcing things? And I've talked to several of you guys one-on-one about the timing of announcements and what we're actually working on. And so rather than just say, hey, here's what we're doing, because as some of you guys who've been involved with us in the past know, we've made announcements on, hey, here's what's happening with the game. And then when the game gets produced and it sucks and we have to revamp it, people get frustrated. And so now we try to keep our powder dry as far as when we announce certain things. So there's, again, back to this balance of, do we just announce things to get people excited and try to pump the token? We don't do that. We're trying not to do that. And I understand the frustration from, if I was just a node owner and I was earning the Element token, now you guys want us to say a bunch of things and announce things so that we hope the token goes up. And I understand the logic behind that, because a lot of projects do that. We are trying to not only time announcements when they're actually going to happen, but also release announcements on a strategic level, so that we can not only support the community, but we can fulfill on what we're trying to announce. Because we did get a little bit, we're a little gun shy because of a couple announcements that we made early in the past, and so now we're just trying to do it in a way that meets expectations. So anyway. Things at Element. What have we been working on? We've been very busy working on a lot of things lately, working on the ethical mining certification. If you guys saw what we're putting together on this ethical mining certification, which is really the root. And so the reason why I start with that product is because for me, that product is where is our genesis. We're trying to solve problems in the mining world. This ethical mining certification, which is an NFT that mining companies commit to taking certain actions of ethical mining, is where it all starts for us. That is probably the longest build for us, because there's so much that goes into it, and there's so many things that have to be done with governments and companies, and the world is catching up for the need for this ethical mining certification. And so that one has been worked on so diligently by Amy. We've talked about Amy. She might have even come on some of these with us in the past. Amy Wilkenhauer, who's just a sustainability guru expert. We're just so fortunate to have her a part of the company. And so that's being worked on, and we are still working on that. We're actually trying to gamify that, because a lot of the questions we get about the ethical mining certification is, what does that have to do with the token? And so if we gamify the ethical mining certification, that allows the tokenomics to be brought into it. And we're still working out some of the details on that. In addition to that, people always ask, okay, Scott, you said you've been working with all these with all these gold mines, which we are. Everything that we've said in the past about which gold mines we're working with, they're all still partners of ours. We used to talk about, we've got X number of billion in in-ground assets, in the control of Element, and all those contracts are still there. We still work with the Portea mine. We still work with all the mines in Canada. We still work with Jay out in Tanzania. We still got all those mines, and we're trying to think of the best ways to best utilize those mines. And obviously right now we're gamifying. That's the whole game concept is based on these mines where we do an assay of everything that's in the ground, and then we gamify that. Also doing carbon credits, and that's really the big heavy lift for Element United are the carbon credits. And we have determined that the mining industry is the best place for carbon credits. We've been working with a lot of companies, and the mining industry needs a lot of rehabilitation, a lot of old mines that have been mined. That's the best place to do these projects like we've talked about in the past with the biochar, to create carbon credits on these mines. While we're rehabilitating these mines, you can create carbon credits off of it, and then you can sell those carbon credits to other existing mines. So that's really a lot of the stuff that I've been working on, because that's really going to be the best use case in the future for the Element token, is that companies have to come in and buy the Element token to purchase their tokenized carbon credits. And so working on that project, it takes a lot of time because you're working with multiple factors here. The creating the carbon credit, working with these companies that do the biochar to do the actual work on the reclaimed mines, and then to get other companies to buy these mines. So in the conversations I've had, these mining companies that need to purchase carbon credits absolutely love and go nuts over the idea that they're buying carbon credits that were created on old gold mines, not just gold mines, all mines. And that these old areas that have been decimated by mining are being rehabilitated through this biochar process, and then they can buy carbon credits that are working on in the mining industry, which is fantastic for us. And so, but those projects, they take a while. There's a lot of work being done on these, and I've met with multiple gold mines that love this. Well, not just gold mines, a whole bunch of different mines, and they love this idea. And so what we're working on now is to get pre-sales for 2025. And so if we can get pre-sales and then let the work catch up, the actual work of going out and creating the carbon credits, now we can have a whole bunch of. And we have goals, and I'll just share those goals with you. Our goal is to have $25 million in pre-sales by the end of the year. And those are all transactions that will be used. They will buy the Element token to buy these carbon credits. That's the plan anyway. And so some of the questions, I've pre-read a lot of the questions, looked at them, and people talk about, what are your revenue sources? Obviously, the number one revenue source for Element is carbon credits, tokenized carbon credits that apply to the mining industry. And so in the update I'm giving right now, some of the questions will get answered just as I'm giving you my update. But these are all things that we have been working on. The bigger heavy lifts, the ones that take a while. Everything we do takes a while. The ethical mining certification that Amy is working on, we hope will change the entire mining world in the same way that blood diamonds have essentially been eliminated because of this process that was developed 20 years ago to make sure that anyone that bought diamonds could track and find out if they were mined ethically. We're doing that for the entire mining world. And so it's a heavy lift. It's sometimes it feels like we're trying to boil the ocean, if you guys have heard that phrase before. But these things, and so because a lot of these things are such a big, heavy lift and they're, hopefully world changing, we have to figure out ways for token utility now. And so that's kind of we've got our long-term vision, which we do believe. And again, everything that we do is long-term. We want to be here for a long time. We're not a pump and dump. And I think we get some frustration from the community because you're part of other projects, not within this ecosystem, but outside of it, to where people will come in and they'll pump and dump and they'll just do these big marketing blitzes and make a token price spike. And so a lot of times if we're compared to projects like that, you can get frustrated with that because we don't do that. We're not an ICO. We just didn't create a token out of nowhere. It has to be earned by you, the community, by running a node. And the building of the projects that are supported by these nodes, they are long-term projects that we hope are around for forever, right? We look at ourselves more like a Bitcoin than some sort of other meme coin. And even though this is an altcoin, we want some longevity to this. We want this to be around for a long time and to really solve problems that take a long time to solve. So anyway, having said that, that's why some of these projects take a while. But what can we do now to make sure that there is token utility? And so we'll answer some of those questions today. Obviously, we want the element token being used for a lot of things, and we'll address some of that today. So a lot of questions were already submitted. Before I answer some of these, I'm going to check to see if any last minute questions came in. One second here. Okay. I think we've got most of the questions in. We did do kind of a cutoff so that, I wasn't, because the questions will continue to come in. But for those of you, if your question doesn't get answered on here, just reach out to us directly, and we can maybe post it in Discord. But we are wanting to make sure that all of your questions get answered. But before I get into that, we are just as excited today, if not more excited today than we were when we launched this, because we're seeing progress. We're seeing that what we've built and the concepts that we've come up with are legitimate, and that there's an actual need for it, and that the problems that we set out to solve with creating Element United in the beginning are just getting worse. And so we love that the solutions that we're providing have real world utility, and that the fervor and the need for these problems is growing and growing, or for these problems to be solved. And so and again, we have competitors out there that are doing similar things, and when we see that, we love it because our mission is validated. Like, for example, there's a new game out there that Epic Sports or Epic Games is doing that has a direct environmental tie to it. And rather than see that game and go, crud, someone's beating us to the punch, we were really pumped to see this because they're gathering the entire gaming community out there to solve environmental problems. Now, this one happened to be in like oil and gas fields, where as you play, you actually earn a token that can be used to like turn off or cap old oil wells. And I loved it. And I thought, well, this is fantastic because we're doing something similar with the creation of our game. And I'll answer some questions about where the progress is and kind of what our vision for that game is as we go on. And so everything that we're working on and everything still is being worked on. All our 4 product lines. Obviously, as you guys know, we've got the carbon credits. And the carbon credits are kind of in 2 categories. The carbon credits that we want big companies buying, like we mentioned with the mining companies, they have to use the element token to come in to buy these credits. That creates a lot of volume with the token. But we also have more of a B2C, and that is where you individually, everybody on this call, should be offsetting your own carbon footprint. Why? Because number 1, it's the right thing to do. Number 2, you get paid to do it. Some of you on this call are part of our offset program, and the offset program is designed for you to earn the element token while you pay a small monthly fee every month to offset your own carbon footprint. It's a win-win. And we hope, obviously, as a member of I'm now speaking as a member of the community, I hope that as I offset my own carbon footprint and receive ELMT token for that ELMT token eventually has a value someday that offsets what I paid monthly to offset my carbon footprint. So again, that's the tokenization of carbon credits, to where we're selling hopefully in bulk to these big companies. And then also each individual. Think about how many people are out there in the community that if they knew just by offsetting their own carbon footprint, by earning element every day or every month that they pay their subscription, they were helping the environment and, being able to earn some ELMT, and I'll talk about the bracelet part next. Second, obviously, is the EMC, the ethical mining certification. That one is kind of our baby that we're trying to change the world by doing that, and we can bring in the element token into that by gamifying it with these individual mines. And we're developing this concept of gamification of the ethical mining certification, because everybody asked me the question, what does that have to do with the token? Some of the things that are going to be put on the element blockchain have nothing to do with you or the token. For example, there are multiple gold mines coming to us saying, hey, let's create a stable coin, let us create a new token that's going to be hosted on the element blockchain. That specifically may not have anything to do with the element token, but it would be another project that's on the element blockchain. And so we are trying to tie in everything to make sure that there's some sort of token utility created with everything that we do. So we've got the carbon credits, we've got the ethical mining certification, and then obviously the gamification. We're still working with Jay on the mine out in Tanzania. We've got a team a new team that we've just brought in to help with the game and to make it, you gotta, the original project that we didn't have the vision that we wanted. We spent a ton of time and a ton of money doing that, but we've brought in a bunch of student gamers to help us with this game who think like the audience that we're trying to attract. We are trying to get the college student gaming community to buy into this game. And so we've kind of gone in a new direction on the game where we're having, over here at the University of Utah, is the #1 gaming program, I think, in the world, at least in the United States. And so we're getting a lot of input from the creators of games at the University of Utah who know what the world wants, because these are highly sought after people. And so we've brought in some consultants there, and they're actually we might actually get, well, I won't announce anything yet. When it's official, I'll say it, but just know that the game is in good hands, that we have people who know what it's going to take. Again, if you were a college student and there was a free play to earn game that you knew was helping villages, that was helping the environment while you earned ELMT for just playing the game, and that as you played, we did these humanitarian unlocks, who wouldn't play that game? And the fact that Epic is now in this exact same space, we love it, we welcome it. I've had conversations with the people that actually developed Fortnite that actually live here in Utah, and I've pitched this gaming concept to them. He had some great ideas for us. And so it's a concept that's going to take off. It is. I'm so excited about what the game is going to do for the element token, as far as providing utility. So okay, and then so gaming, and then finally, let's see, what did I cover? I covered ethical mining. The eVault. So the eVault, which is more of our supply chain and also NFT creation for individual jewelry. So the eVault is designed to create two things: to show provenance of where rings and jewelry originated, and it can track it all the way, to the finger. But we've already created NFTs for one of our first jewelry partners. Someone came in, did like a $300,000 order with them, and so we created the NFTs, and those NFTs are going to expand. It's kind of like we kind of call it a container, where you have a container to where you can now NFT all of your own individual jewelry and keep it in this container that's in your wallet, in your Element wallet. And so we're addressing all of these things and working on all these projects, and we're so excited for the future, so excited for where we've been, all the heartaches and struggle that we've been through to where we're at today, and in hopes kind of right in this time where everything's about to take off. And it's been rough, like trying to predict what the freaking crypto market doing has been tough. But that's why we just let's focus on our products, and then you guys as the community. And we've got some amazing members of the community doing some great things, trying to grow, trying to, you guys in conjunction with the DGF, trying to make this project and the token have some utility, we're working on the utility, but have this, the community working on this token to actually be worth something. And so anyway, okay, let's get to questions. We got about, I don't know. There's quite a few questions here. So I'm going to get through as many of these as I can. One of the questions says, I saw that NFTs that mine carbon credits for other projects of Connect. So for those of you guys that don't know, there's a sales organization called Connect that sells Element NFTs and Element nodes. They also sell for other projects. And so the question is, I saw that there are NFTs that mine carbon credits for some of the other projects. And some of the other projects you guys might be familiar with, there's one called Grow. There's one called Green. And so they also sell NFTs that are attached to carbon credits. And so the question is Element involved in those too? And yes, so you guys might, some of you guys may have even bought some of these NFTs from Element, or you've seen them available. And so yes, you can mine. We are developing the full functionality of what these NFTs will do, but as of today, yes, Element does sell NFTs that mine carbon credits, and so we have a whole list of NFTs that you can buy that have different functions with Element United. And one of them is carbon credits. And so as we develop that, we haven't even made big announcements on it yet because we're still developing these NFTs. We kind of released them to some of our insiders, but we are producing an entire line of NFTs. One of them is a boost. You can buy the NFT and it will boost the production of your node. You will be getting more Element daily from your node by buying this boost NFT. And then there are other NFTs that have to do with gold and silver and diamonds and carbon credits. And so any product that we sell will have an NFT attached to that. One of the questions is the eVault is connected with the new NFTs that Element launched on Connect's store. So yes, you can buy NFTs that will allow you to buy silver, gold, and diamonds, and also when you buy these NFTs, it'll allow you to create new NFTs for your silver, diamond, and gold within the eVault. So again, every product that we has NFTs that are attached to it. And we will spell out, so very shortly we will be spelling out what all these NFTs mean and what you get for purchasing them. And so we're open to, it's working really, really well with other projects. And so shortly we will be producing a very great detail of what all these NFTs do. So some of you guys have seen it and probably raised a lot more questions than answered, and that's okay because we haven't come out and fully identified and explained to you guys what these NFTs do. Okay, next question. While it was made clear that the brand created products and the community is in charge of exchange listing and so forth, which ultimately comes back to the brand building products which have utility, perceived value, excitement, and to bring in users who can use them, who can use the Element tokens within the ecosystem, which creates value. This is a long question. Hold on, I'm going to start this one all over. Okay. While it was made clear that the brand creates the products and the community is in charge of exchange listings and so forth, which ultimately comes back to the brand building products, which have utility, perceived value, excitement, and to bring in users who can use the Element tokens within the ecosystem, which creates value for the token, volume, etc. How far along are we in being able to use Element tokens, ELMT, to pay for offset, purchase NFTs, etc.? Got it. Okay. So basically the question is, how far along are we in being able to use Element tokens to pay for offset, purchase NFTs, etc.? So we are just days away from releasing the ability to use the Element token in the shopping carts. And it won't be available for every item initially, but this is a huge step for us for Element. And so to begin, you'll be able to buy swag items, and very quickly you'll be able to buy gold and silver coins in the Element shopping cart within days. We're literally days away from that using the ELMT token. And so we're extremely excited for that, because now for those of you who've been running your nodes and you have all this, there's something you can do with it now. Whether you now, and again, the first few things that you'll be able to do with it, again, buying, and I have some here so you guys can see this. These are our Element branded silver coins. These are 1 ounce, 1 troy ounce pure silver. They've got the Element logo on the front and on the back, and we also have gold. So if you want to buy gold or silver, you can literally use your element token within the next couple days, or you can buy swag, or you can donate some of your tokens to one of our humanitarian projects. We're doing a lot of work right now in Ghana, where I used to work. That's where the TV show was filmed. And so you can donate to different projects, buy products or donate to projects using your element token. And then very quickly, we want you to be able to use your element token to pay for your offset subscriptions. So, and then of course, when these bigger companies come in and buy carbon credits in bulk, we're hoping with high numbers, we want those also to be purchased with the element token. So they're going to have to go into the market, buy up a whole bunch of element tokens, and obviously you know what happens when there's a high demand for a token. But again, I like how you preface this question, because it did clearly distinguish the responsibilities of Element United, the company, and then the separate entity of Element Blockchain. And so we create products. We're excited about all these projects. So when they progress and when we add new relationships or partners, and that's another one of the things we want to do, is start bringing on the partners that we're working with. I think sometimes people get the impression that it's just us working we have a ton of partners. We have some announcements that are going to be coming soon. Behind the scenes, I have shared a couple of these announcements with a couple of you, just one-on-one, but and asked you not to share it with the community on purpose, because we want to make sure, as we announce these really cool partnerships and relationships that we're developing, that it has an impact, that you guys get excited about what we're doing. And some of these partners are in the mining world. Some of these partners are in the carbon credit verification world. Some of these partnerships are just with marketing in general. And so we will do our part to make sure that everybody is excited, and that there's energy, and that there's information, and everybody loves what's happening at Element United. Because I think, selfishly, we as a company, we know what's happening. We're excited all the time. And there's this, again, going back to that weird dynamic, do we go out and, from the rooftops and scream, here's what we're doing, and then it takes 6 months and people kind of lose steam? Or do we wait and time our announcements with, and I get it, the community wants to hear about it, and we're going to do a much, much better job of staying engaged and kind of bringing all of you along this journey. But we're going to be bringing partners on. So we'll bring some partners on, for example, some of our mining partners. There's a new mine that we're working with out in Arizona that has 6.4 billion in gold in the ground, and I'm flying out there probably tonight to go close a deal with them on what we can do with them. And they want us to do multiple things. They want us to gamify their mine. They want to do carbon credits on their mine. They even want us to tokenize the in-ground asset. We have to figure out how that would work with the Element blockchain and the Element community. But it's exciting things, and when mines hear about what we're doing, they're pumped, they're excited. And so we just need to do a better job of relaying that information to you as the community, to let you know what we're actually working on. So anyway, again, but I love how you started that question with, you're responsible for this. We as the community are responsible for this. So yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, let's get another question here. Okay, is it realistic to expect the game and the full lineup of Element products to be on the market in use by late 2024 into early 2025? Some, yes. Some of the products, of course. And so, as far as the game, we will see. The people that I have working on the game now are telling me they can have it done by the end of the year. And that excites me, because I do believe that we can do a lot for the. When I say we, I think a fully functioning game has the potential to do a lot with the token as far as utility. I'm not going to speak anything to what it's going to do to the price of the token, but it can get a lot of utility and get it moving, using the token for in-game upgrades, using the token for a whole bunch of things within the game. And I am optimistic. I believe that these new folks who are consulting and helping on the game, they know what the gaming community wants. And I think we're going to have, the goal for us is tens and tens of thousands of people playing this game and earning the Element token. Now, The element tokens that people will be earning, they have to be donated by an individual, and that individual happens to be me. And so I'm going to be putting hundreds of millions of tokens into this game so that it can get we can get things moving there. So anyway, so the question is a yes and no. So is it realistic to expect the full lineup? That would probably be a no, because the question is a full lineup. But there will definitely be products. There already are some coming this week that will be available by the end of the year. Okay. The marketing on social media by Element is great, but it's all conceptual and humanitarian at the moment. I love this question because I could not agree more with it. Eventually, the community and world will want to see action and something in real world terms. For example, how is my offset subscription helping the world? Is there a tree that is being planted that would be valuable to show the community, post on social media, and bring real life actions? So I don't know who submitted that question, but thank you for submitting that. It's probably my favorite question because I couldn't agree more with it. Right now, there's what we're trying to do with the social media. We try to. The first thing we try to do is to help people understand the problems that exist. The problem is people don't know that there are problems. People don't know that when you have a phone, it's the environment and locals are being heavily exploited and destroyed because of the mining that's happening in the world right now. People don't know that. So we still find ourselves in this position where we're trying to let the world know about the problems, right? But sometimes, that kind of falls on deaf ears and you just scroll right past it. And so what we want to do, what's going to have the most impact, is exactly what you said in the second part of this question, which is people want to know, like, is there a tree being planted, right? By the way, one of the companies that we were looking at acquiring was a company that also does bracelets. And every time you buy a bracelet, it plants X number of trees, right? What a great concept that you walk around with your bracelet knowing that this particular bracelet planted X number of a specific type of tree. We thought about buying them, but we thought what we're doing is a little bit more impactful because of what we are doing. When you engage in the Element community, it goes back to what we just talked about with the game. If I'm playing a free play to earn game, and I know that as a community, if we mine 10% of the digital version of a real mine, that has an unlock, and we go and we build a school or water wells or help a village, all of that, because of the blockchain concept, is all about transparency. We want everything that we do to be transparent and to be filmed. So you guys might know Paul, who's a member of our community. Paul and I are going to be traveling to these areas and making videos of your direct impact. So if you buy a bracelet and you're offsetting your carbon footprint, we want to go to these areas where the carbon credits are being produced. And right now it'll be in specific mining areas and show you what's being done because of your support for the Element community. We are going to be showing you videos of the actual women and the villages that are producing these cool bracelets. And if you guys don't know these bracelets, pretty soon you can go to offsetbracelet.com. It's going to be live in a couple days. These bracelets that have a little QR code on it that allow you to share with others what the purpose of this bracelet is. And just to remind you, when you buy these bracelets from us for $50, half the money goes to support the communities and the villages that are producing and assembling these bracelets for us. And the other half goes directly to a mine reclamation project. Well, how the hell do you know what's happening unless you would go out there and show you what the direct impact is of you wearing this bracelet? And by the way, whenever you share this and someone buys a bracelet, you get paid Element tokens. And we'll have that all spelled out for you guys off of offsetbracelet.com. And so you need to know there needs to be an impact. If what you're doing isn't because there's two parts to this. I get that many of you in the community want to see the direct impact. of your efforts, of you offsetting your carbon footprint, of Element as a whole selling tokens and donating it to humanitarian projects or doing the projects ourselves. And then there's the other side who just want the freaking token to have a value. I understand that. I get that there are two different types of people, and hopefully most everybody in the Element community, you're a little bit of both, right? You want to see action and change, and you also want that token to go. And so we will do our part. Our part is we will solve problems and show you the video proof of that. We're also, one of the things that we thought about last year was actually getting people to go out to the mine in Tanzania, because the mine that we're working with Jay out in Tanzania is on the Serengeti. It's right on the border. So like on the mine, like animals will come in and, elephants will walk on it and stuff like that. And so we want to include the community as much as we can. So what we'll do is, for those of you who don't feel like getting on a plane, is we're going to film and video everything that we do. That is so important to us for the legitimacy and just the transparency of what we're doing. We need the community to buy into this. The problems that we're trying to solve, we need the world to buy into it. We need the world to go, I don't want a freaking phone if it was mined by a child. I don't want, gold or a diamond if I know that it was mined illegally. The world has to buy in. But you know who really needs to buy into what we're doing? Is you. You guys have to know that what we're doing is legitimate and real, so that, because there's so many scam companies out there, and so the best that we can do is to film it, is to show you, here's what we're doing, here are the problems we solved, here are the mines that we're working on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start bringing partners on. We'll start maybe in our next community update, I'll bring on the owners of the mines to talk about what we're doing, and we can bring on partners in the carbon credit space to talk about what we're doing and our collaboration with them. And that'll help you guys get excited about this, right? And again, drawing that fine line between I build products that go on the blockchain that solve problems. You guys host and own the blockchain and the token that comes with it. And it is your responsibility. And if you guys are excited about what's happening on my side, maybe you'll go tell the world that they should buy this token. Maybe you'll get on and post and say, hey, you should do this. Maybe you'll buy a bracelet and walk up to every freaking stranger that you see and tell them to scan this barcode, because they can earn Element tokens. Okay. All right. So great question. Love it. I'm going to speed this up here because we're in the middle of a Monday morning and you guys are on here.
Hey,
so
Scott,
I appreciate.
we have someone on the Twitch stream that asked, how are you going to deal with, when or if the token does take off? How are you going to deal with people dumping large amounts, manipulating the price of the token?
That's a market condition that I have no control over. If you guys in the community, if you own the Element token, you can do whatever you want with it. But I think the more people believe in what we're doing and in the projects, that they'll hold it. That as soon as it has some sort of value, they're not just going to dump it so they can, recover the price of what they paid for their node. That would be, obviously, in my opinion, a little short-sighted. But it's a free market. I can't control anybody. Obviously, there are a few larger stakeholders like myself and a few other people that have bought, a lot of nodes and tokens. And there's nothing that I can do personally to stop anyone from dumping. Now, once there's volume and a lot of volume, it doesn't matter. In the early days, if there's very little volume and someone out there is going, I just want to get rid of all these tokens, it's going to affect the price. However, the more volume there is, the less that is a factor. And so we just have to make sure that, for me, so what I can do is to make sure I don't dump any of mine, because I would kill this with the amount of tokens I have, I'd kill this whole project if I did something that stupid. And so obviously that's not my goal. My goal is to just solve problems and build amazing products. And then, when I want the community that has bought nodes from us and that has believed in this for 2 or 3 years, I want you guys to have the most success and to I hope every one of you gets rich off of this and make a ton of money. Obviously, I can't guarantee that, and I'm just talking as a fellow community member. I hope you all get filthy rich off of this token. And so, but to directly answer the question, there's nothing I can do to do that. I can't restrict. I can't, call and tell someone, hey, don't do this, stop. I can't do that. It's a free market, but you as a community, get this token moving. I can create utility, you guys get it moving and create a lot of volume on there, and then one person with a whole bunch of tokens won't have that much influence. So I hope that helps answer that. Okay, someone said, I heard in the last call that you mentioned gold and silver coins being prepared for future selling through the Element ecosystem. Can we have a realistic approximate date for that, or is it too early? And so, no, we plan on selling silver and gold coins through the Element ecosystem in August. So just later, by the end of the week, we'll be doing that. Also, by the end of the week, offsetbracelet.com will be up and live where we can get you guys. And we need you guys moving these bracelets, right? The community, all the things we do should be community driven. If we can give you an incentive to go out and do that, to get other people buying these bracelets, and again, I think once we get the messaging out there a little bit better and actually show you the women in the villages assembling these bracelets and the impact it has, it'll have a little bit more influence on and give you guys more marketing material to go out and sell these. So, okay, considering how complex the deals are for Element and what intervals we are talking about from first contact to collaboration, how many people have a consultative sales mission to close these potential collaborations? So everyone at Element is sales focused. Everyone at Element is focused on making sure that when we bring on a new partner or we're working on collaboration, that we bring in, and again, I think the tone of the question is more, these things take a long time, and it's true, they do. A lot of the big, and I think I prefaced that earlier with, how complicated it is to put together someone who's producing biochar to go then and put it on a mine that creates the carbon credit that is then purchased by another mine using the Element token. That stuff takes a while. And so, but there are many of us who are all working on that. The staff at Element United is sufficient enough to work on everything that we have in the pipeline. So I hope that answers the question. But these collaborations, they do take a while because we're dealing with, in some cases, nine-figure like deals, right? To be able to pull off the biochar. These are massive deals, but we are confident that what we have right now, the people who are in place right now, are sufficient to close every deal that we have. Obviously, anything mining related, I'm not going to say I'm the world-renowned expert on it, but I know enough. I know enough of what I'm doing. I think our carbon credit team, being led by Amy, Amy's a phenom, and so between all of us who we have on staff, I think we've got enough to handle all the collaborations that we have. Okay, let's see. Last Q&A, it was mentioned that high-end marketers would start in June with the carbon credit offset model after you set the incentive model for them when they don't do it 100% free. And now, let's see, we have all of July passed. What's that? Okay, so the question is, last Q&A, we said that in the beginning of June or around that time, we would have high-end marketers. So we are working. So before we engage with, we have some really high-end marketers and influencers that we are engaging. We haven't fully deployed them yet because there have been some things that we changed. So we have a guy that we're working with, a guy named Josh, who has his influence market goes, and I'm just opening up, right? I'm just talking, giving you guys, what we do. And maybe I shouldn't tell you everything, but I'm just gonna. So we have a guy that we work with named Josh, who has his influence network is in the hundreds of millions because he has X number of influencers that all have X number of followers. So we've been putting a plan together for them. Now the issue is that they're all different. They all have different demographics that watch their stuff, and so what we've been doing is trying to lead with something that's easier for them to tackle. Because if you go to all these influencers and you just say, "Hey, we're gonna carbon credit, save the world." So we've decided we need to start with something simple, and I think we're going to start with what the bracelet campaign does. That's easier for people to digest, especially for the markets. We've been kind of trying to research what these demographics consist of, and it's more of a let's start with one thing, because we wanted to start with, hey, have them come in and buy a bracelet and then offset their carbon and so we put a plan together that's just starting it a little bit more simple, makes it easier, and then stair step them as some people are interested in our mission, and then we can kind of engage them at a higher level. But we do have, we're also working with a new group out of Spain that's got some really good ideas for us. And so we kind of took a step back before we just showed up and throwed up and kind of screwed our initial introduction to these potentially hundreds of millions of eyeballs. We wanted to make sure that our message was a little bit easier to digest for the demographic that Josh brings with these influencers. Okay. So I hope that answers the question. But, and again, we have, hey, let's start in June and do this, and then we sit back and go, no, that's not the feedback that we're getting. So let's revamp it. And we do that all the time. That what we think might be a great idea, once we consult with those people that know how to reach the masses, they might say, well, you want to pause and do it this way. And so we make adjustments all the time. Okay, in order for us in the community to be able to push Element harder, there must be products out there that Element token is used for. Okay, I think we addressed that. And an extremely important area that many of us see as important is being able to buy gold and silver. Okay, great. For example, partner mines with Element token where 2% discount is mentioned when buying with the Element token. How does that look? Okay, great. So that's a great question. We talked about the ability. So we're working with a couple. We're working with a couple gold and silver. They sell a lot more than gold and silver, but basically retailers. And the retailers who sell gold and silver, we are having them accept the Element token as payment to sell you in the community gold and silver. So if you guys, hold on, another question just came in. So you guys, if you want to buy gold and silver, you would use the Element token to go to this specific gold and silver retailer, and so let's just say that you're buying $10,000 worth of gold and silver. You pay with $10,000 worth of Element token. The gold seller, accepts it, and then he sends you your gold and silver. And then Element, the company, will give you, the purchaser, a 2% of your purchase in Element token. Now, what does that do for you? Well, it gives you an incentive to buy from this specific gold and silver retailer, because you're going to get a rebate in Element token, thus making it the cheapest way to buy gold and silver, because Element, the company, is going to give you a rebate. So we haven't done that yet, where we were wanting the volume to be a little bit higher, because keep in mind, when you buy the gold and silver with the Element token has to come back to me, and I give cash to the gold seller. And so 100% that this product that we're doing of giving you a rebate, that is happening. When it's going to happen, we hope shortly. We hope in the next 3-4 weeks. And so from the perspective of the retail gold and silver seller, he wants to accept the Element token because he's going to get a whole bunch of volume from the people that own the token. And so, hold on. Oh yeah. So Paul just chimed in and said, in the previous question, when I talked about offsetbracelet.com, those are for pre-sales. They're not for. We have some made right now, but the volume we're expecting, those are just for pre-sale. Okay. So thank you, Paul. So going back to this one, that relationship that we're working on will 100% be happening. And so hold on, I'm getting a follow up to that question right now. Let's see. There we go. Yes. What are any products currently? Carbon. Okay. And then to answer part of the other question is, yes, you can use the Element reward for carbon purchases through Offset right now. And so when you share about Offset and the carbon credits and even bracelet pre-sales, you're helping everyone involved, helping the Element grow today. So yes, And sorry, the question was being edited and as I was speaking, and so I was wanting to make sure I answered it correctly. And then I'm getting feedback from my team. So Paul just chimed in, and so let me go back. 100%, yes. There we will have. We'll probably have two different companies. We've been talking to two companies who want to accept the Element token, and you will be given a 2% rebate whenever you buy gold and silver from that company using the Element token. But you can also do it on our website. You'll also be able to buy these specific tokens from us in smaller quantities. We'll probably just release like 100 tokens at a time, where you can buy these tokens using the Element token directly from our website. But yes, we're still going to be doing this through some bigger people that can do higher quantity. And yes, you can use the Element token currently right now to buy carbon credits through Offset. And then again, we're going to give you a little plug. When you share Offset and the carbon credits and even the bracelet pre-sales, you are helping everyone involved in Element grow. Okay, does the company have revenue yet? Have any corporate customers purchased the companies? So we're doing pre-sales. We're doing pre-sales I've met with multiple mines that like what we're doing. On the bigger side, so yes, we have revenue for the Offset. We have a lot of people who are already right now paying monthly on our Offset program. I hope all of you guys are too. As members of the community, we hope you can get involved with our products. Every one of you on this call should be offsetting your own carbon footprint. It's like $20 a month, and also sharing it, letting other people know, because when you do, you'll get rewarded with more offset. So everybody who supports this and has already bought nodes should be buying our products as well. So yes, the company has revenue right now. Obviously, we're wanting to grow that, which is why we're reaching out to people with networks of $100 million. And the first step, the one that's the most digestible for the community, is offset your own carbon footprint and then get rewarded when you share with others. And the best way to do that is to buy bracelets so that you can have people scan your QR code that sends them to a landing page where they will also be able to offset their own carbon footprint. And so we grow this together as a community. Everybody in this community should be customers of our products as well, because not only will you get rewarded for it, but it shows that your commitment and in your belief in what we're doing. So have any corporate customers purchased the company's carbon credits yet? All those are in pre-sale, and we're waiting to actually close some of those until we have, because we haven't priced out what the biochar carbon credits are going to be yet. So let's see. The company has many activities that can bring in revenue. So what is the revenue plan in the near future? Well, we have about 100-page doc, and I'm contemplating if we should share it on our revenue growth. It's really exciting stuff. We've been working on it. When I say we, Ali and Amy have been putting together this document that is extremely extensive. I think today it's over 100 pages on the revenue projections for Element United. They are fantastic. They are phenomenal. And it has to do with revenue from the EMC. So I'll just go over all the revenue sources. The ethical mining certification is an annual renewal. These mines will pay between $5,000 and $10,000 every year to have their ethical mining NFT renewed. The eVault is a huge revenue generator. Anytime someone creates an NFT for any of their personal jewelry, anytime we work with a jewelry company that wants us to NFT their entire collection, those are all revenue generating transactions that bring in revenue to the company. The game will have in-game revenue where people can buy skins, can upgrade their excavator to dig deeper and faster to earn more Element tokens. And so we hope, and I've seen some initial revenue projections from the guys working on this game. It's huge. But all that depends on how many users come in and what percentage of them will actually just play the free game and let it go, what percentage will jump in and buy the in-game upgrades. Those are really big as well. And then obviously the carbon credits. The carbon credits are a massive revenue generator for us, not only on the monthly subscription side, and I'm talking future revenue, but on the B2B side. The B2B side is where I believe the most revenue will be generated. Like I said, my goal is to have 25 million in pre-sales by the end of the year. And So between the carbon credits, between the gain, between the e-vault, and between the ethical mining certification, these are all potentially huge revenue generators for the company. How the token relates to every one of these is separate, other than when these revenues are purchased with the element token. And that really is the goal for us, is from a token utility standpoint. I want millions and millions of dollars a month to be coming in using the token, because that helps you guys who are the token owners. What will that do to the price? I have no idea. But if you just follow economics 101, right? The laws of supply and demand, when there's a big demand for a specific thing, the price goes up. And so will that affect it? I have no clue. I think you guys can all come to your own logical conclusion on what that would do, but you'll never hear it from me because I can't make any predictions on what that will do to the token price. My job is to build amazing products that are supported on the blockchain that you run. We are hoping and doing everything that we can to make sure that there is utility, that you not only can you come directly to Element to use your token to buy gold and silver and swag and offset subscriptions, but that others out there will also want to buy tokens out of the market so that they can come in and use them for other products like bulk carbon credits and other things that we're doing. And as always, everything that we do, there will be a humanitarian aspect of it. We hope some of you guys will donate some of your tokens so that we can sell them and go do some fun things, helping villages. And like I said, we want all of this to be transparent. We're going to show all of you guys. So in closing, my job as the president of this company is to make sure that you guys love what we're doing and that you're excited about it. I will do that. I will be in Discord more often. I've already committed, for those of you guys who are involved with Connect, and if you don't know what Connect is, I apologize, but Connect, again, is just a sales arm. I'm doing a weekly Connect update for everybody in Connect starting this week. I believe we picked, Paul, can you chime in send me a text. When are we doing that? I think we're filming it on Wednesdays, and I think we're releasing it on Fridays. But we are going to be doing a weekly update on everything that we're doing. I love the accountability. There's a few of you guys. There were a couple questions in here. Well, hold on. Let's see. We have opportunities in the U.S. working the company. Sorry, there's more being updated in here, but I like getting on here because I like the community saying, hey, Scott, back then you said this. Where are we on that? I love that. It holds us accountable. It helps us to feel like we're a part of this with you, even though, our responsibilities in this are very different. I'm grateful for all you guys, grateful for your support. Some of you guys have been involved with us for coming up on 3 years. Some of you guys did, pre-bought nodes for us. And everything that we set out to do, everything that we're working on is we're more committed, we're more on track, we're more on confident we're going to reach our goals than we've ever been. And even during this little dip that we've taken before we hope is the big altcoin run over the next 12 months, we're just excited. We're just excited that you guys are here. We're and as you've noticed, the focus on selling nodes has gone away. Now we're just kind of on building. Now, of course, if you still want nodes, we're happy to sell you guys nodes. We can do some fun promotions and incentives and discounts, on nodes for you guys. But we're about building products. Buy some NFTs. Get every one of you guys should be offsetting your carbon footprint on our monthly subscription plan. So look for a lot more from us. And for the person that asked the question on the marketing, look for that marketing to change too. We are going to be getting more away. I think we've let enough people know about what we're doing that now it's time to focus and change marketing and get really excited about here's what we're doing, here's what our products are. So I think we've answered everything. If not, if a few questions came in late, I'll post answers to those here in the Discord. But thank you all for jumping in here, and look for a lot more from us. It's going to be exciting. Buckle up. This election is going to change a lot of things. If Donald Trump wins, look for a massive, massive spike. Look for a lot of this, SEC just going after everybody, calling crypto, a security or a scam or whatever. Look for that to go away. And even Kamala has been kind of sort of friendly toward crypto, but Donald Trump is whatever your politics are. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, if you're just looking at what would Donald Trump bring, he's going to bring. All cryptos will explode, in my humble opinion, if Trump is elected. And so, if he's not, then hopefully Harris is still whatever, or whoever they replace Harris with. Just kidding. But anyway, there's a lot that's going to be happening. This thing is going to ebb and flow, and it's going to be volatile, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm glad to be on this journey with you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and look for a lot more updates, not only from me, but from Element United. And let's get this community moving. I want this community to kick ass. I want you guys to be out there, talking, screaming from the rooftops, all the wonderful things that we're doing. What you guys say, I can't say and never will say, but what you guys can do, go do it. Get out there and let's build this community together and solve some problems and hopefully have some fun on the other side. So appreciate all you guys and love all you guys, and anything you need from me. I believe I've even put my email out there. Any of you guys, feel free to email me directly. I'll post it in here. And go ahead. You got some? Do you want to jump in, Reagan, or?
Oh, no, I was just going to mention that anyone that wants to rewatch this, or for the people that haven't seen it, you can let them know that we'll be posting a recording of this as soon as possible.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. And we'll get this recording out there ASAP. Thanks for your time.